I am Amalie Schaefer with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and today I am going to go over client onboarding. I decided to do this video now in honor of us getting our first set of templates out. This is going to walk through essentially what we have put together in our CRM template bundle, which includes the lead list, which is right here, and I've gone over that in a previous video, but I'll walk through that quickly. So that's going to be in here. The template is the CRM folder with the lead list and the current client list as well, along with the template tasks that are in here. This walks through, and there's videos included for each of the pieces of it. It's also going to include lead management SOP template and a client onboarding SOP template, plus the ClickUp templates as well. So I'll put the link to that in the description of the video so you can check it out. We are offering it for $37. And this video, I'm going to spend most of my time going through the current client onboarding, so onboarding using ClickUp. But like I said, the bundle includes the lead management as well. And videos for each step. It has a video to go over the zaps that we use because we use Acuity, 17 Hats, and ClickUp for our overall client management tech stack. So as far as the client onboarding process, we really want it to make our lives easier and the client's life easier. So the first place to start is if you don't already have a process or SOP written up, is to just take a Google Doc or a ClickUp doc and write through each of the steps that someone needs to go through in order to become or be onboarded as a client. So that might look like having a contract signed, paying an invoice, having an onboarding call, all of those things. My process that I share in the template might look a little bit different than yours, and that's totally fine. I just wanted to give you a starting point or something to compare what you might already have. And so I've just included essentially what we do in our process, but again, you're welcome to change it. The one thing I do want to mention is that all of these templates are built based on the free version, but if you have the paid version, whether it's business or unlimited, you'll have access to do more things. And if you have questions about that, you can always reach out to us. The link to book a call with me will be in the description of the video if you want some one-on-one support. I do recommend, as you're starting to create any process, not necessarily just onboarding, but any process, is to go through it manually first before you begin using any automations or anything like that. Now, the one exception, I would say the one exception is when you're sending information from one place to another, but making sure that in your standard operating procedure, SOP, you have written out somewhere of where the information comes from. If for some reason the automation doesn't work. We just had it happen the other day. One of our, the Zap that sends information from Acuity to a ClickUp didn't work. So we had to go in and get it manually. So, those things happen, and making sure that you have that somewhere written down that if this doesn't work automatically, then someone needs to go in manually to do that. Having these processes, whether it's onboarding or lead management, any process in your business allows you to delegate a lot more efficiently. So when you have all the steps written out, the instructions and all of those things, it makes getting help from your team a lot easier on both sides, right? Because the person knows what they're doing and you're able to hand it to them knowing that they will have clear instructions on what they need to get done. So let's go ahead and let's get started here. And this is the SOP that will come in the bundle that we're offering. I just wanted to open up so we can go through it. And so one of the first steps that we do when someone has said yes is we want to schedule the onboarding call at the conclusion of the call that we're on when they've agreed. Now, if they aren't able to do that, then we want to send them a link to schedule that call. We have a specific calendar type or type of appointment in Acuity for onboarding, which we only take certain times a week. So we will send that link to them for them to schedule, and I'll show you where we put that link. Then we want to create the contract in 17 hats based on the details from the project plan. The project plan is going to be in the notes in the task from when we did our calls. So for us, when we have a lead, let's say that this is the lead here. And we've sent the proposal, they're ready for onboarding. They've gone through all these steps. We will have taken notes in here for them, right? So we would have put notes down here on what the project plan is. And then once we do that, that's where we get the information from for the contract. Okay, so then you're going to create the contract. Once the contract's been signed, the first invoice for the project is in QuickBooks. So whether you, so in 17 hats, you can do something very similar to Dubsado, where you can send a proposal, the contract, and the invoice all at the same time. We don't do that right now. We have talked about it. Right now, we do the contract once they sign it. Then we, or we'll do, if they want the proposal, we'll do a proposal contract, and then we'll send the invoice manually from QuickBooks. But that's just what we do. And if you need to change it, you can. Like I said, this will be a swipe file for people to use. So anyway, and if you're not going to purchase the bundle, that's fine too. Just know that what I would do is first list out all the steps, put them in order, just as as we're walking through it like this. And then this is just the process part, but where you want to get into the granular details of how to do that, that'll be down in the procedure area where you can see right down here, where I go into depth on how to go into 17 hats and how to create the actual contract. So you're going to log into 17 hats, click on the contacts, then on the plus sign to create a new contact. So this is like very specific steps of what to do. And then once the contract's been signed, then we give them the explanation of how to go into QuickBooks to set up the invoice. And then once the invoice has been paid, then we're going to create the template folder. So for onboarding, let me go back here really quickly. So the way that we have this broken down, that's the SOP, and inside of the template task. So again, this is something that's included in the bundle. You get this template task that has the checklist items that I just was talking about. So, create the Google folder, create ClickUp client folder, create dashboard, create the Slack channel in invite, send a welcome email. So all of these are reflect what's in here. Creating the folder. Now the way that we do folders, so if this is our template folder, I have two options here to show you, but we have a client information list. This is what the client will have access to, okay? Our internal list, or if we decide to break it down into phases like this, these will all be internal, not external to the client. The client information will be external to them. This is where we'll give them the project overview. We'll break the project down into phases so that they can see kind of what's going on. Now, this is not part of the CRM template. I'm just showing you this as part of what the SOP is telling you to do. So we would duplicate this every time we get a new client. I'll just go ahead and duplicate it. We'll just call this client number 1. It's going to copy the folder for me. And then that's where we would start. That would be where we would start with the client. So once that is created, then we're going to create the dashboard. So we'd come in here and obviously we'd put information. A lot of times what I do is I put the Google Drive link at the top just to find it quickly, or Google folder. And we can put client dashboard if you want, something like that, so that they see that information. Now, once we have this, the project overview is just going to be the information from the contract that they signed. And we would just put that into the comments here. And then we would break the project down into phases. So they're going to see when we're in progress of a phase, but they're not going to see our back and forth of everything that is going on. They're not going to see the teams back and forth with each other and those kinds of things. So the statuses I have here are information instructions, additional requests. That might be like if the client wants some additional, if they have requests about things. In progress is showing them what we're working on. And then in the phase description, we're going to put what it is in this phase that we're working on. Meetings, we'll have the meetings laid out here with the due dates so that they can get their schedule, if we're meeting on a weekly basis or whatever, but it all keeps it in one place. Once things are ready for review, we'll put them there, let the client know, we'll assign that to them. Now, the next step in the SOP is to create the dashboard. So what we'll do in the dashboards area, to get there, you just click on dashboards. I already have it open. So what we'll do here is, this is our template, and we'll just duplicate this. We'll call this client number 1 dashboard. Okay, and now this is the client's dashboard where we're going to update their links, and we would give them access to this through sharing it with them, just like we would with the list. But we'll let them know that we make a video for them. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is set up to the right client information. Hold on. Oops. We just want, there we go. Okay, so now this is set up for their information so that they can see it here. We give them a chat option. We would put links to their Google folder here. We create a video for them, walk through, let them know that this is the dashboard that they can use instead of going to the list. It really depends on what they prefer, but we provide both for them. So here you can see we would create the Google folder, the client folder in ClickUp, the dashboard, which we did, the Slack channel. We would update links in the client's ClickUp folder, lists, and tasks. That would be anywhere that we have, Google folder, we'd put the links there, client dashboard, put the link there. So all we would do is we would just grab the link here like this, come over here, and then put it there. That way it's easy access. So whether they come to the list or the dashboard, they can get to both easily. Okay, so back over here to our checklist. We're going to send the welcome email. So at the bottom of the SOP, I have our welcome email. So I would just copy this. And we keep all of our communication as email inside of here. So I'm just going to paste this, and then I'm just going to change out all these places. So, hi, client number 1, please review the email, watch the video. We would paste our link to the video that we created for them. And then we would add links here. So link to the dashboard, link to their list. We would add the Google Drive link to the folder, the Slack link for the invite. So when you do invites to Slack, it'll produce a link. So we put all the links in here and then we send invites after we send the email. Now this is only if they didn't book their onboarding call. If they did already do that, we just delete that part. And then you just say, you know, regards, who's from. And I don't have my email linked up here because this is just my test account, but you would link your email. So if you click on this, it'll let you link your email. And you can also create signatures as well and create email templates. So that makes it really nice. And then all the email communication that has to do with while they're leads or once they've become a client, we would keep that inside of the tasks just so that way we're not having to go look for it in email. When they email you back, you will get a notification in your notification center. So you'll still be notified of the emails that they have sent you, or if they've responded to your email or whatever. Okay, so I'm not going to send this email right now, but once we do, then we would go back and send the invites to each of these items after we've sent the email with the links. So now once they do that, then they're going to have a client onboarding call. During the client onboarding call, that's when we walk through the client folder, or I'm sorry, the client information list, make sure that if they do have any questions, that's usually when we're going to figure out, okay, when are we going to do our calls? Are they going to be weekly? Are they going to be monthly? You know, whatever. Maybe you don't have any calls with them. We're going to confirm due dates on the phases of the projects, those kinds of things. Just really get all the details firmed up, make sure that they understand how to get into ClickUp and all of that. And just make it really easy. And any other information, oh, this is one thing I wanted to mention. For information instructions, this is where you might have, you know, if they have a branding guide or headshots that you might need, or maybe they have other items that you might need for the project, anything that would just need to be found really quickly. The Google folder obviously will hold those things, but sometimes it's nice just to have easy access to them right inside of ClickUp. So we would just add tasks, you know, if it's, you know, linked to branding guide, something like that, or maybe it's hex codes for colors, something like that. And so then that's all going to live in information instructions. Now, when we share with the client, we give them access to the client information list, which is right here. That's external with the client. So we don't give them access to the whole folder. We just give them access to this, and we would give them access to the dashboard. And you just do that through sharing it. You turn it from private to public, and then add the email addresses or email address for the client. So again, this is the onboarding process. This is how we walk through with clients to get them set up. It makes our life a lot easier. It also helps get the team started on projects quickly and efficiently. I just want to go over one more time what's included in the bundle, just so you're aware. So it's going to come with the lead management SOP template, plus the lead list, the template list with the template task in it with the checklist. It's going to come with the current client ClickUp list with the template task. It's going to come with the client onboarding SOP and videos for all of those pieces. And again, I'll put that link in the video description. So I hope that was helpful. And if you want just one-on-one support, you don't want the templates, I will also include a link to book a call with me there, and we can go over what you have to see if I'm able to support. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.